some of the people in attendance outside, okay? Now, the people outside, I don't care about, right? Those are the people that later went on to start beating each other up and committing vandalism and assault and battery. You know, those are criminals that were outside that were doing the booming, the ones that got violent. But the ones that were inside Madison Square Garden, okay, they're not booing. All right, are you hearing boos? I'm not hearing boos. I'd certainly like to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. And I don't hear a single boo there. Not a single boo. But if they put the text on the screen that there's a boo, if they tell you before you hear it that there's a boo, you might hear a boo. The power of suggestion. You know, like I give you an example on an unrelated topic. You may have seen the story. There was an earthquake down in the Caribbean around Cuba, and it was felt all the way through Orlando. Well, now I started hearing stories that people felt it in Miami. I didn't feel jack yesterday. But now, all these people I know in Florida, my Facebook friends and like real friends of mine, okay, that are like real people that I actually know, not just Facebook friends, all of a sudden, everyone's telling me they felt their chair move, they felt their desk move, their computer vibrated. You know, all these people in Florida are all of a sudden saying that they felt the earthquake yesterday, even though they didn't. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're getting ready to come on live on the radio. Let me check the time. Okay, we've got about less than 30 seconds, so we're going to be live, and I'll open up the radio show, and then I'll go to the phones. Now, again, when I say the president wasn't booed, I'm talking about the people inside Madison Square Garden, not the people outside that were committing crimes all night. All right, stand by. We have 5 seconds. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. Okay, it's so bizarre what the media are doing right now. You know, the media are engaged this morning, and it started last night, in one of the most pathetic propaganda attempts I've ever seen, really, truly. And I'm talking about the president at the Knicks game. Now, they're saying that he was booed at the Knicks game. I'm going to play you the audio in just a moment. I say no, he was not booed at the Knicks game. Now, he was booed outside the game when he was driving through the streets of New York, but who cares what those people think? Because they went on to do what? Commit assault and battery and all kinds of vandalism and other violence later in the evening. But inside Madison Square Garden, Trump was not booed. In fact, he was cheered. Here's the audio. Those are cheers, not boos. Those are cheers, not boos. That's what I'm hearing. Now, you can call and let me know what you're hearing there, but I'm hearing cheers. So what's going on here is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. The left, since President Trump was elected to a historic and non-consecutive second term, the left have been involved and trying to get a fake narrative going on that everybody hates Trump. If everybody hates Trump, how did he get elected to a second and non-consecutive term, number one? Okay. Explain that to me. Also, Graham Plattner, he's running, who's his primaries today in Maine. He's running around with his commie buddy, Bernie Sanders, on the Stop the Oligarchy tour. Well, what were the ticket prices for this Knicks game last night? I heard all kinds of prices, 43,000, 7,000, 8,000, 50,000. I heard all kinds of numbers. Even if you take the low end of 7 and 8,000, but many people paid much more than that. If you take the low end and the high end that's been reported, all of those people are what the left would describe as the oligarchy, right? So the oligarchy, these are the uber rich because that's who could afford the ticket to be in there last night. Why would this oligarchy be booing the king of the oligarchy, Donald Trump? Can someone make sense of that to me? I'd really like to hear this. So what's going on with the booing? Now, I'm not arguing that they did boo him outside. You know, the people that went on to commit violent acts later on. When they were done booing Trump, they went and started beating each other up, right? I'm not talking about the people outside. I'm talking about inside. Okay? I'm talking about inside. Why would the oligarchy be booing the king of the oligarchy? Can you explain that to me? Make sense of that. I'm not hearing boo. I'm hearing cheers. I'm hearing a loud crowd. I'm not hearing boo, no oohs, right? Do you hear that? No. Okay. Now, do you hear any ooh, boo, the oohs at the end of boos? No. So what they're doing is this. It's 100% propaganda, okay? The clip I'm playing this from right now is from a video. And those of you that watch me on YouTube, which you all should, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, this one, they're right out doing it. They're the power of suggestion. The graphic on the video, they have text that says loud boos for Donald Trump at basketball game. They don't say the Knicks game, they say at basketball game. So this is probably some propagandists from the CCP or something that put this together. You know, but if you read that, loud boos, or if it's some newscaster telling you that it's boos before you hear it, and they have a whole discussion about boos, you might, because of the power of suggestion, hear boos, but I want you to now, boo has an ooh sound. Boo. Here's the clip. Do you hear any of that ooh sound from boos? No, I'm not hearing any ooh. For there to be boos, you've got to hear the oohs, and I don't hear any oohs. Do you? All right. Now, I do want to hear what you think. These people are pathetic. They're so pathetic. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
You hit it right on the Democrat Party is, I got to turn off the volume.
That's okay.
The Democrat Party is on the last thread. They're hanging on, coming up with the silliest nonsense. They can't break MAGA. They know it. MAGA is together forever. This is never going away. And it's almost comical what they try to drum up. They think they're going to cause division, and they can't figure out they cannot do it.
Exactly. You know, for there to be boos, you've got to have the ooh sound, right? And I'm not hearing that. Now, outside, by the people that went on to commit violence and assault and battery and vandalism, they booed outside, but I'm not hearing boos inside Madison Square Garden. I'm just not. Are you?
No, I don't. I hear a lot of cheering.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, why are we here in America? How can we not understand that the mainstream news media is out for one thing? Destroy Trump because he's making America great again.
Indeed.
There is the only reason they hate President Trump. He's bringing us back to we the people. And they cannot stand the fact that they thought they had him beat, put him in jail. I mean, not jail, but arrest. You know.
Well, no. If President Trump had not been reelected, they would have put him in prison. There's no doubt. They would have put him in prison if
so?
absolutely. That judge in New York would have sent him to Rikers if he was not reelected. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And it's to the point now where it's beyond ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The mainstream news media is just out and out every day showing how much they hate America.
Yeah, and they're really now. If there were if I heard boos there, I would tell you, okay, a bunch of jerks at New York booing him. You know, so but what they're doing is it's textbook propaganda, and it's almost like it's suggestive, right? If they keep telling you you're hearing boos, and even put it as a graphic on the screen, you might hear it because of the power of suggestion. But no, there's no boos there.
Right. And it's like in 2015 and 16, Russia, Russia, Russia. And that's been proven all along that it was completely a farce, made-up story.
Well, Goebbels, who was Hitler's propaganda minister, Goebbels, his famous quote, repeat a lie often enough and people will believe it. And that's what they're doing.
I believe that the mainstream news media is going to have a major shakeup when we win the midterms and he gains more seats, and he's going to be able to pass the.
Listen, I got to run for the break, Jeff. But tomorrow, of course, we're going to know the results in Maine. So I hope to hear from you tomorrow. You're in Maine about whatever happens with Plattner.
Call you first thing, Brian. God bless.
All right, take care. Yeah, Jeff is in Maine, ground zero. I got a big announcement to make. From Mike Lindell and My Pillow, and this is one you want to jump on quick for Father's Day. The men's bathrobes are back in stock. The My Pillow bathrobes are back in stock. They were out of stock on many sizes and colors. They are back in stock in all sizes and colors right now, and at a huge discount with our promo code Kane at checkout. Okay, this is a great Father's Day gift. This is the best Father's Day gift. My wife and I both have the My Pillow bathrobes. I love my My Pillow bathrobes. I have the gray. My wife has the white. They have this beautiful burgundy and other colors as well. So go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout. Huge savings. But listen to this. The men's bathrobe for Father's Day is $100 off. Normally $179.98. Right now, just $79.98. Wow. What a deal. What a savings. $100 off the My Pillow bathrobe. This is the perfect Father's Day gift. There is time. Go and order it. Do this while supplies last, because these have been out of stock for quite some time. So go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And again, you could use our promo code for all the specials there. But you can buy men's and women's a set at the same time of the bathrobes. They're all $100 off, and it's free shipping on orders of $100 or more. So if you get one for him and her, it's free shipping. But this is a great deal. They've been out of stock for a long time. The My Pillow bathrobes are the perfect Father's Day gift. Promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. We're in break. Now, let me pull this up again. I am not hearing boos. And I if you're on hold, I'm going to take the calls after the break. I'm hearing a lot of noise and cheering, and this is inside. Now, again, I'm not denying that they did not boo President Trump on the street. The street people booed President Trump. But the people that paid big bucks to be inside, they did not. Listen. Do you hear boo? Because if I've booed people, and I've been in crowds where people, you go, boo, 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 right? That's what you do. Do you hear any of that? No. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, we'll be back in about 90 seconds from the radio break. The number is toll-free 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, and the number is pinned in the live chat. Also, guys, please do me the favor of liking the video. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. It helps me out a lot. So please like the video. But if I heard booze there, I wouldn't shy away from it. I'd play it and I'd talk about it. And I'd say, here you got, a bunch of New Yorkers, and what I would tell you, I know what I would say. You got all these New Yorkers booing Trump that paid $40,000, $10,000, $7,000 for a seat. What do you think I'd say? You know what I'd say? I would say this. I bet all these booers take those Trump tax cuts, don't they? Because they're rich and they can afford these tickets. So what are they booing if they're taking all the Trump tax cut? That's what I'd be saying today. So I'm not into gaslighting. I'm not into gaslighting you. I'm not into gaslighting myself. I deal with what we got here. And to have a boo, you have to have an ooh. All right. We've got 10 seconds. Stand by. Call us on hold. Don't go anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Pathetic. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to respond to this. It's just ridiculous. All right. We're back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Hunter, and I am from Oregon.
Hunter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're not. This isn't Hunter Biden, is it?
Hell no, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, you're clean. You don't sound like you're a junkie.
No, sir. I'm a hard-working man.
Or hire prostitutes and use your dad's credit cards to pay for the Russian prostitutes. That doesn't sound like you. All right, what's on your mind? What's on your mind, Hunter?
I just had some questions. So I myself
here we go.
voted for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And I was in high school during his first election.
Yeah.
And my question for you is, do you think the 2016 president run was better or worse than what we're seeing now?
I think that they were equal but different, because they were about different things. They were totally different. The first run was much different than the second run. The second run, well, I guess the third run, which would be the re-election in 2024, this was about overcoming Putin-like oppression. Remember, they were trying to put President Trump in prison because he's a popular politician who was opposing the powers that be. And when they couldn't defeat him, they shot him and tried to kill him more than once. So his re-election in 2024 was about freeing our country from tyrants. So it was a much different thing than in 2016.
The thing about tyranny is we're heavily involved in foreign affairs. That's kind of my...
When was the United States... Can you tell me when the United States was not involved in foreign affairs? At what point? From the time we had a country till today?
Mm-hmm.
When were we not involved in foreign affairs of any kind?
Ever since I've been born.
Well, ever since 1776. I mean, even in the War of Independence, we were working with France.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is it time to stop being the world police? I just feel, I feel like we're just being the world police.
Give me an example.
We should take upon ourselves to different countries.
World Police. Well, Team America World Police is a good movie. If you've ever not seen it, you should see it. When you say the world police, where are we working as police officers? I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Well, let me backtrack. I think the reason I ask why you think the 2016 election is new to this first one is I think the 2016 Donald Trump is not the same as the 2024 Donald Trump. I think the Donald Trump of 2024 is very heavily involved in more foreign policies and especially into Israeli policies. When he was voting for 2024, he said no new wars, and that's why I voted.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He never said that. He said no more endless wars.
We're not in an endless war again. I remember he told us out years ago.
No. This war that we're involved in with Iran the major combat operations were like 3 months ago. And of the 3 months, most of that time has been a ceasefire. So no.
Are we not still sending money over there?
Sending money where?
To foreign affairs.
To Israel? Are we not sending money to Israel?
We are definitely sending money to Israel.
No, we do not send money to Israel.
What about the money that comes from AIPAC?
That's not money that we're sending to Israel. We do not send money to Israel.
That's being sent to us from Israel
No.
into our politics.
No. Those are donors like any other lobby group. You know, there's all kinds of lobby groups. Tobacco, oil, the green people, the environmentalists. There's all these, the animal lovers. There's all these lobby groups.
AIPAC is pretty big. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know. How big is it? What does it? That's an acronym, right? That's an acronym.
Yeah.
What's it stand for?
AIPAC. It stands for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it's for Israel.
Yes. NASA, National Aeronautical and Space Administration. Huh?
American Israeli Public Affairs.
No.
What does it stand for then?
Well, you're the one that takes issue with it. You should be informed about it more than me. But everything out there has a lobby, right? The fast food industry has a lobby, and there's a fast food restaurant on every corner, and they're pretty big.
Unfortunately,
I love fast food. I love all kinds of food. So why is that the only lobby group you're concerned with?
It's just a big one for me.
They're all big.
Want to be,
what did you say you're calling from? What state?
Oregon.
Oregon. All right. Farmers not only have lobby groups, different types of farmers, right?
Yeah, but
have I'll give you an example. Farmers that farm corn have this ridiculous ethanol lobby where they get paid money for the corn, for the ethanol that's worthless. It messes up your car. Everyone has a lobby. There's so many lobby groups out there, but you only seem concerned about the Jews.
I just don't want foreign affairs. I don't want any foreign affairs, and I think America should.
You don't want any foreign affairs?
American.
You don't.
No.
You don't want and what? You don't want any foreign affairs, whatever that means. And what was the second thing you said?
I want to keep America American. I want to see only Americans lobbying for other like you said, farmers. I want to see farmers lobbying politicians.
You are aware that there are American Jews, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shouldn't American Jews have a right to lobby like the farmers and the fast food people and the green people and the ethanol people and the soybean people and the car people?
I think it's a conflict of interest.
For Jews? Why can all other Americans have lobby groups except Jewish Americans?
Well, I didn't bring up Jewish, you did, but
AIPAC. What do you think AIPAC is? Think they're Catholic?
The Israelis.
They're Jews. It's the Jewish state.
Okay. All right. So I just think that if that's the route we're going, then Israelis or Jews have ties to Israel, no matter if they're American Jews or if they're Israeli.
What a bigot you are. Yeah, what a bigot you are. You're familiar with President Kennedy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. He was a great man, killed by a communist, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. Lee Harvey Oswald's wife was the daughter of a general in the Soviet Union's army at the time of the assassination. But when President Kennedy was running for president, a lot of people were very concerned that he would have dual loyalties. Do you know what they said about President Kennedy? That he would have dual loyalties. He was the first president to be a particular thing. Do you know what it was?
Catholic.
Correct. And when President Kennedy was running in 1960, bigots like you were saying, is he going to be loyal to the United States? Or is he going to be loyal to the Pope, to the Vatican? Bigots, right? Like the Klan, the bigots. And basically what you're telling me is that Jews are not American. You're
I didn't say that Jews are American.
Sure.
I just said that Jews. I think that Jews have other policies that do not lie in Israel. I think that they have a.
Do you know why Israel exists? Do you know why Israel exists? No, it's not their homeland.
JFK.
Why does Israel exist? No, why does Israel? Why does Israel exist today as a nation?
Today as a nation?
In 1948, the United Nations established the state of Israel. Why? Why did that happen?
Tell me.
Well, what happened right before that? 1948 is when the state of Israel.
World War II.
Well, what happened in World War II?
There was the Holocaust.
Yeah, and 6 million Jews were killed. Do you know how many Jews are on the planet Earth today? 6 million. How many Jews are on Earth today? Do you know? How many?
I don't have the number.
Guess. You know, there's over 300 million people in the United States. How many Jews are there in the world, the whole planet?
Well, the Jewish population in America is what, 3%?
No, I'm not asking percentage. Just guess. How many Jews do you think there are in the world?
Let's say 60 million.
How many?
60 million.
How many?
60 million.
60 million?
Yeah.
No, 16.
How many?
16.
15 million?
16 million.
16 million.
That's it.
So I doubled it.
16 times 2 is 60? Where'd you go to school? You need to brush up on your math while you're getting rid of this anti-Semitism that you have. So think about it. There's 16 million Jews in the world. 6 million were killed in the Holocaust. Israel was
If you want to talk about the Holocaust.
No, I don't want to talk about the Holocaust. I use it as a reference point. See, the reason Israel exists is because of people like you, anti-Semitic Jew haters, who are suspicious of Jews.
I don't mind Jewish people.
Oh, you don't mind Jewish people? Oh, okay.
No,
Well, how nice of you.
I've had Jewish friends.
You've had Jewish friends.
I do. I just don't think that Jewish people. I think they're a conflict. It's a conflict of interest.
Like Kennedy with the Catholics, right? I'm Catholic, so do I have dual loyalty too? Am I loyal to the Pope? The Pope's even an American now. Pope Leo, he's an American.
Yeah, he is. He's an American.
So I'm Catholic. Do you want to question my loyalties too?
No, because I think America is a Christian country.
No, it's not a Christian country.
It was founded by Christians.
It was founded. It is a Christian. It is a no. It was what conquered? Who conquered?
Yeah.
We didn't. The United States was not conquered. Are you an American or a Canadian? What school do you go to? Where do you go to school? Portland, Oregon? Where did you learn this garbage?
No,
where did you learn these perversions and garbage?
No, I'm from Eastern Oregon.
I don't. Whatever. I mean, it can't be much better. Where did you get? Where is that? Where the Aryan Nation compound is? Did you go to one of those white people's churches? Where'd you get this stuff? I'm serious.
From researching.
What do you research? The Final Call?
Looking stuff up, finding things.
Listen. I'm a well-educated person who's very well informed, and the filth that's coming out, the filth and perversions coming out of your mouth is like I'm talking to someone in 1933 Munich. You think we conquered the United States? You think Jews are not American, that have conflicts of loyalty?
I never said they weren't American. I said they don't have American interests at heart.
They don't have American interest at heart. Yes.
No, I think if you were to ask a modern Jewish American if they were for America.
No, I'll ask a Nazi like you. I'll ask a Nazi like you or Graham Plattner. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh my goodness! If you were my son, I would be so upset. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be ashamed. What's your highest level of education?
My highest associate.
You went to college. Okay, you have a 2-year associate's degree. Okay. Oh my goodness! You need a what?
I have a CDL.
What's a CDL? Oh, you're a truck driver. Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. What kind of truck do you drive?
Long haul.
Like, what are you hauling today?
Nothing today. I'm off this week.
Well, what are you hauling next week?
Hazard material.
What did you haul last week?
Hazard material.
Hazard material? Are you sure? What are you hauling? Jews to the camp? Get off the phone. I'm not here to talk to bigots. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes, guys. Pretty scary stuff. Pretty scary stuff. Boy, oh boy. Can you imagine? If your son was talking like that, how would you feel? Oh man. I want to talk about Lighthouse Medical. If you're suffering from neuropathy, you don't have to call Lighthouse Medical. Lighthouse Medical, they have a treatment for neuropathy, a treatment that works, and a treatment that lasts. I've met many listeners, not just Steve Kane, but many listeners, some go on our cruises that I see every year, that tell me I have a life now because I went to Lighthouse Medical and my neuropathy is gone. It's amazing. What they do. Steve, he saw relief from his neuropathy symptoms after his very first treatment. And after the treatment protocol, his neuropathy was completely gone. 4 years ago, he had that treatment, and his neuropathy has not returned. A lot of times, people call and make appointments for their loved one that has neuropathy. Those of you that are suffering from neuropathy, get your life back. Be able to travel, be able to go to restaurants, be able to drive, be able to go to movies, be able to go to the mall. Be able to get out of bed, be able to live a peaceful life without suffering. Call Lighthouse Medical. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you could take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back. Wow. Okay. We're in radio break right now. That was pretty. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go back to the calls and get us back on track, on topic. But that was a scary, scary call. What have they done? What have the liberals done that we have people thinking like that? All right. Now, to get back on track of what the show was about today is this just 100% lie that Trump was booed at Madison Square Garden inside the game. He was booed outside by the people that went on to commit violent acts, but he was not booed by those on the inside. Here's the moment in question. Tell me what you hear. Now remember, boo is boo. Ooh, do you listen for that? Ooh and boo. Ooh and boo. Do you hear it? I don't. Now, there's no ooh sound. All right, those of you who want to hold, stand by. I will get back to your calls right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. What if a world-famous wine empire was hiding a deadly secret? From author Malenko Gabrillo comes an international thriller where luxury, power, and organized crime collide in a battle that spans the continent in Blood and Wine. In Blood and Wine, meet the Lombardi family. Generations built a global empire of Michelin-starred restaurants and world-renowned wines. But when their daughter suddenly vanishes, they uncover a criminal network operating in the shadows of the luxury industry. As shocking secrets emerge and the stakes rise higher than ever imagined, the family finds itself caught in a dangerous struggle involving betrayal, power, and a ruthless cartel determined to take everything they've built from New York to Europe and beyond. Blood and Wine cinematic action, unforgettable characters, and non-stop suspense, and a story about family, legacy, and the price of survival. Order your copy of Blood and Wine from author Malenko Gabrillo online at ithebook.com. That's ithebook.com. Are you feeling emotionally drained, stuck, or disconnected from yourself? EnlightMeCenter.com was created for the person who is ready to heal, reset, and reconnect with their purpose. At EnlightMeCenter.com, explore spiritual wellness services, emotional healing tools, guided resets, transformational courses, as well as inspirational merch designed to support your journey. Visit EnlightMeCenter.com to start your healing journey and claim your free 5-minute emotional reset. EnlightMeCenter.com. You owe back taxes? Jamie Levac at Swift Tax is here to help. He's helped people just like you with their IRS problems, and he doesn't charge those outrageous high fees the other companies demand. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax charges only a small fraction of what those companies charge. Stop worrying every time the mailman comes that he's bringing you a letter from the IRS. Call Jamie Levac at Swift Tax right now, All right, we'll be back in just over a minute. We're still in radio break. I'm a little behind schedule because I went long when we were talking to Graham Plattner there on the line before the break. Holy smokes. You know, that's sadly why Graham Plattner is doing so well. We got 1 minute. We'll be back because there's so many people like that last caller that are just very, very disturbing. Very disturbing. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Okay, stand by, guys. All right, we got just a few seconds. We'll be back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bad, Chicago.
Hey, Chicago. What's up?
Not much. Heard you talking about Trump wasn't getting booed, and I think
Correct.
all that much, you know, because that's all Democrats and libtards do is lie,
Yep.
steal, cheat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and whatever. And
Here we go. Here we go, Jimmy.
More narratives that MAGA's losing its power and Trump's losing his power, and dude, these libtards, they're leaving the Democratic Party and going independent. Any live you go to, and they start asking, yeah, who'd you vote for? They're like, oh, I'm independent, and, you know, I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm independent. Oh, so you used to vote Democrat. They're like, yeah, I used to vote Democrat, but I'm independent now. And some of them are like, yeah, I turned MAGA. I found Jesus. And they got nose rings they took out, colored hair they undyed. And, you know, I mean, these people, they're turning independent or MAGA. And now they're lying, saying that MAGA's losing their base, you know, just like they lied about him getting booed, just like they lied about him being a rapist, this and that. I mean, now
You
now
sure?
they can't
You
call
sure?
it.
You sure you're calling from Chicago? I'm hearing birds chirping in the background, not gunshots. You sure you're in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, outside, man.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's early in the morning, man.
Oh, okay. The gangbangers are sleeping. Oh, okay. The gangbangers are asleep at this hour.
Yeah, well, it ain't all like it's cracked up to be on TV. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I watch Chicago PD every week. Yeah.
Well, we got our problems like anybody else.
Why? You know what? I wonder. You know what I wonder? You know, Black Lives Matter. I have never seen Black Lives Matter say a word about the Black lives that have been taken on the streets of Chicago. Have you? I've never heard them.
Well, because the Black lives that you see on TV are not Black lives. They're George Soros. They're funded by all these elitists, and then they got these celebrities out there protesting for it, making a name for it, and everybody's thinking it's for Black people, but it ain't for Black people. It's for an agenda.
All right. Hey, listen. Well, welcome to the show. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care. Take care. Oh, man. All right, the rest of you on hold, stand by. I want to finish up with this booing thing, and then after the break, there's a lot of other things going on I want to cover. But this is a very important news story today. No doubt he was booed outside. I'm going to play in a little bit Rachel Maddow, who's just nuts. But on the inside, he was not. And the psychology of what the liberals are doing in this country is a very important thing to point out and expose. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, is this the White Power Hour?
No, you've got the wrong number. No, I'm sorry. That's somebody. I don't have that number, but it's not this one. Since you asked. Oh, my goodness. Okay, now let me pull this up. This is Rachel Maddow, who, Rachel Maddow, she's talking about Trump getting booed, right? And the way she acts is just so bizarre. Listen, this is Rachel Maddow last night.
Do you want to see the warm welcome the President of the United States got tonight when he decided to pretend to be a basketball fan?
Even though he had like courtside seats for years and years up in the until back in the 90s and everything, he pretended until he can't really go to courtside anymore. But, you know, this is one of the most bizarre things I have seen with Rachel Maddow. You know, Rachel Maddow was humiliated on her own air in front of her own audience over the Russia thing, that she was a useful idiot and a tool of the deep state to promote. And I don't pay much attention to Rachel Maddow. I haven't seen her in a long time. This is the first time I've seen Rachel Maddow. I don't think I played a clip from her in ages, and she looks like she's lost her mind. She's got this facial expression, kind of like the Joker in Batman. She's totally crazed, and she feels energized because she thinks the president might have gotten booed inside Madison Square Garden. But she's going to play some video. Listen, let's go.
Warm welcome the President of the United States got tonight when he decided to pretend to be a basketball fan.
Oh my goodness.
Because he wanted to go to the NBA Finals in New York tonight. You want to see how much New Yorkers appreciated Donald Trump making them all come to the game hours early, forcing everyone to go through tons of extra screening, forcing...
Well, yeah, because you Democrats keep trying to shoot him. So, of course, there's got to be... The reason there's extra screening is because the Democrats are shooting him and shooting at him all the time. Tell your Democrat friends to stop shooting at him, and we can relax the screening a little bit. What a dumb thing to say.
The public free viewing parties they had planned outside Madison Square Garden, just specifically so Trump could be there in person, even though he's only ever talked trash about the NBA and doesn't appear to have been an actual fan at all, at least for decades. Do you want to see the big, warm New York welcome that actual Knicks fans gave him when he arrived at the venue tonight?
Okay, now she's going to play some video where you'll hear booing. Okay, now that is outside. Okay, you hear the oohs? This is not inside. These are the people outside that went on to beat each other up and commit vandalism.
An actual fan at all, at least for decades. Do you want to see the big, warm New York welcome that actual Knicks fans gave him when he arrived at the venue tonight?
You hear the oohs from the boos, right? You hear the oohs from the boos. So now let me pull up the video of the president inside Madison Square Garden. Okay. So on the first one, let me play it again. Let me cue it up. Okay. You hear the ooh from the boos. Right? Listen.
When he arrived at the venue tonight?
Here, listen. Here, ooh, boo. You hear the ooh sound, okay? This is inside the venue. No ooh. See, inside the venue, no ooh sound. See, I told you. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You hear the difference? I mean, there's no question. There's no oohs here. Okay? Now, here's inside. We're in break now, so on the radio. So here we are inside the venue. See, you don't get the ooh sound. Here, this is outside with Rachel Maddow. Ooh. See the difference? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And look at how excited she is. I mean, she looks nuts. She looks completely insane. You know, the idea that someone was booed gives her that kind of energy. Have you ever felt this good about someone being booed? Okay, I'm just checking what time we're going to be back. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be right back with more. What if the person reading the books believed every word was true? And what if your own family wanted you dead? Author Hamilton delivers two unforgettable psychological thrillers packed with suspense, secrets, and shocking twists. In Kindred, a horror author retreats to an isolated cabin only to find herself trapped with an obsessed fan convinced her novels are confessions to real murders. As reality and fiction collide, survival becomes the ultimate story. Then discover Frailty of Fact, a psychological thriller where Elodie Winters wakes up covered in blood, her sister fighting for her life, and everyone convinced she's the villain. But as buried family's secrets surface, she must uncover the truth before the people closest to her finish what they started. Author Liz McCoy Hamilton's books are perfect for fans of suspense and thrillers that keep you guessing until the very last page. Order your copies of Kindred and Frailty of Fact from author Liz McCoy Hamilton on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. These books also make great additions to your book club. Just go to Amazon.com and search author Liz McCoy Hamilton. All right, we'll be back in less than 30 seconds. Let me check the exact time. About 20 seconds, guys. Oh, man. If you're on hold, stand by. Yeah, you're all welcome to call in. You do not have to agree to call in. You can agree, you can disagree. But you got to have an opinion. That's not asking too much. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee in Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah, I had to interrupt your white power hour. Listen, Trump got booed. I don't know what you were listening to. That guy got booed.
Yeah, outside. Yeah. He got booed by the people that went on to beat each other up and commit all kinds of destruction. Yes, the violent people outside did boo him before they went on to commit assault, battery, and vandalism. You are correct, but not inside.
You've got an imagination that you're incredibly stupid.
It's called ears. I got headphones on. I'm listening in headphones.
The reason I called is the fact that you want to side with these fake Israelis who call themselves Jews and want to kiss up to them. And I want you to know that they are not Hebrews. Okay,
whatever.
They're Khazarian converts.
What's a Khazarian? What's a Khazarian? I have no idea what a Khazarian is. I know what a moron is. That's you.
Yeah, you.
Mm-hmm.
You are an idiot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are the stupid white racist who thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you open your mouth, you prove how.
Now, I got a question for you. The Knicks lost. I'm wondering if the Knicks lost because Mamdani went to the game. Is Mamdani bad luck? It's his first time going to a game as mayor, and then they lost. Do you think that Mamdani going to the game caused the Knicks to lose last night? I wonder. Is he bad luck?
Listen, we almost swept these idiots. We lost one game. That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
But Mamdani was there. Do you think Mamdani may have caused them to lose last night? Is he bad luck?
You are an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, no, I was hearing some people. I was hearing liberals all of a sudden are into witchcraft and superstition and luck charms and bad luck charms. All right, okay. Appreciate the call. What do you guys think? Mamdani was at the game last night. Was that the first game he went to as that may be his first game ever? Donald Trump's been a whole bunch of games where teams have won, right? Mamdani goes to one and they lose. I'm starting to think that Mamdani may be bad luck. He should stay away from New York sporting events. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, Brian, you got this guy that just called you up with the lady's name, the guy from New York, you know, Renee.
Yes, Renee from
the
Harlem.
woman's
Yes,
name.
Renee from Harlem.
Renee, the woman's name, the woman's name, okay?
Yes.
The guy with bricks between his ears, that the only word out of his mouth is racist, and now you're hearing about the Jews. Renee, what's wrong with Israel? The guy that called you earlier, what's wrong with AIPAC? Do you know that they got Chinese lobbyists in Washington D.C. trying to get everything, batteries and everything made in China? This is the way the world works. So if you have you can't be an Israeli living in Israel basically, and then going and lobbying. These are Americans that are lobbying, and if they're lobbying for Israel, what's wrong with Israel? Is Israel destroying Europe right now, or are Muslims destroying Europe right now, Renee? Who's destroying the Africans coming out of Africa, the Muslims that are laying around, urinating in the streets, defecating everywhere, living under tents, and sponging off of the French, the Italians.
So what do you think? You know, getting back on the important things, the Knicks game. You know,
Yes.
Donald Trump has been to countless Knicks games. Mamdani's only been to one, and they lost.
Yes.
Do you think Mamdani is a bad luck charm for New York sporting teams?
No.
I saw
think
this.
what
Who's
you
this?
heard-
Who's this guy? This Stephen Smith, whatever his name is. You know, and he was saying that
Yes,
Donald Trump, Stephen A. Smith, was talking about good luck charms, bad luck charms, curses.
Yes.
And the only thing that's different here is Mamdani went. I saw him taking selfies with people, first time there, and then they lost. So you know, I'm just wondering.
Well, the other thing, you brought up earlier about the cheers and like the woman's name from Harlem,
yes.
You know, the lady. I wonder why his mother gave him a name like a lady's name. I wonder.
Well, that's a good question.
This guy is.
Yes.
This baby is really feminine.
Yes.
Or doesn't know what gender it is.
Mm-hmm.
It, not a person.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm gonna bring this up. I think you were wrong about the cheers that you heard and that I heard and everyone heard inside the arena last night, because you don't have any evidence, Brian. It didn't go to court. You don't have any evidence. It's not in court yet.
Well, I know. For people to boo, there has to be the ooh sound. The ooh from boo is clear outside, but not inside Madison Square Garden. I'm sorry.
Well, outside is the mayor's constituency,
yes.
which are welfare cases all over New York
that like to beat each other up for some reason.
Illegals. Yeah, I mean, all the ones in the subway system were out in front of me.
Let me ask you, why did all of these people outside start beating each other up? Why? What started that?
What started it is they came up from the subway system that the mayor says is safe. That isn't. That if you stand close to the train track, you're going to get pushed into an oncoming train and
yes.
get killed or assaulted inside the cars
yes.
of the train. They just you wear a gold chain, you're done. You know, I mean, not for nothing. This is what's in New York City. So the people that were buying those tickets, they were decent human beings that could afford. They actually are productive people.
The oligarchy. The oligarchy.
Yeah, they're productive.
Yes, the haves.
You know, not the
welfare, haves.
Not the welfare criminals.
Correct.
And the illegals that are roaming the streets in New York as predators. Okay.
Yes.
And that's why they attack each other. When there's nobody like the people inside to attack. They attack each other, and that's just the way it is. And it's a wonderful thing to think. It's a wonderful thing to think that I rooted against the Knicks. I'm sorry. I know President Trump is a Knicks fan, but I don't want to give Mamdani or any of these pompous jerks that were already talking about a parade. I don't want to give them anything. I want to see New York get defeated by Texas. Once again, Texas, a red state.
I'm a Texas guy. I'm rooting for Texas too. I'm really not. I don't care about the Knicks. I don't care about the Knicks. And I don't understand. I got a question. I should have asked Renee from Harlem. I keep hearing football stars, right? The people that play for the NFL say that they're slaves. Yes. You know, these millionaire slaves, and the team owners are slaves. Does that apply to the NBA too? Are the players on the NBA, are they slaves? These millionaires on the court?
Oh, yes.
Okay, they're slaves too. Okay.
Absolutely. There's so much racism in the country.
But they're millionaire slaves.
So racist.
But they're millionaires.
They're so racist. Oh yeah. By the way, the only two people that booed, you brought up racist, was Spike Lee, that racist director that goes to every Knick game, that low-life scumball, was there booing President Trump. And probably Mandani, and maybe a couple of those.
You know, there are people in this audience who believe that Renee from Harlem is Spike Lee from Harlem, who is calling in under a fake name. People tell me that all the time. They think it's Spike Lee.
Well, he could have picked a better name than Renee. My God.
I don't know. Is Renee may be a character in one of his movies. I don't know. I haven't seen too many Spike Lee movies. You're having a fantasy?
I love hearing his voice.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I'm having a fantasy over Renee because
really, you're fantasizing over a man. Wait, hold on a second here. You're fantasizing about a man with a lady's name. Oh, this is going to get good.
No, I'm thinking about maybe Renee is really a woman that's hot. You know.
I got to tell you, Richie, you sound a little off today. You're a little giddy.
No, I'm on. I'm just trying to be a little funny and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yes. President Trump yesterday was cheered in Madison Square Garden.
Inside, yeah.
It was a nice event. I would never pay. I don't care how rich I am. I would never pay to see all those millionaires on a basketball court.
My favorite was the actress from Law and Order, Marissa Hargitay. The ref was in front of her for the whole game. And she paid like $50,000 for the seat, and she had totally obstructed view the whole time. It was hilarious.
You know who almost got hurt? One of the players ran into him, and they checked him out to see if he was right. The ex-mayor, Bloomberg. He was trampled.
Yeah, well, he's a little guy. All right, I gotta run, Richie. We're up against the top. Richie is fantasizing about a man with a woman's name. That's what he said. All right, we'll take our break for the top, but I want to tell you guys, if you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you are in the United States. But if you miss the filing deadline on April 15th, don't worry. Call Jamie Levac. I want to give you his direct number. You can call or text him. He'll take care of it for you. If you owe back taxes, he can help you with that too. Give Jamie Levac a call no matter where you are in the United States. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. Come back with more. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back right after this. All right, if you're on hold, stand by, guys. I tell you, these people, they're out of their minds. And I want to make this announcement because this I don't know how long this is going to last. I checked, everything's in, but I've been telling you guys to do your Father's Day shopping at MyPillow.com. This just dropped yesterday. There's a whole Father's Day section at MyPillow.com. The MyPillow bathrobes are back. They have been out of many colors and many sizes. They are back in all sizes, all colors right now. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, the MyPillow bathrobes are $100 off. Okay, and that is a very, very good deal. All right. Okay. So go to MyPillow.com. Dad would love a MyPillow bathrobe. That is the perfect gift for every dad out there. There's not a dad in America that would not want a MyPillow bathrobe, and you can get them one for $100 off. By the way, they've got the ladies in as well. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at checkout, or order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, stand by, guys. Okay, we're going to be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. So I gotta. All right. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Okay. Stand by. Stand by 20 seconds and we'll be back. Oh, man. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat, okay? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hold on. Let me put you on hold. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's me, Bad, again from Chicago. I wanted to ask
No,
you
it's
and the
one call.
audience-
It's one call per show. All right?
All right, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask 3 questions, man.
No, pick your best one, and I'll go with that because it's one call per show. So pick your best one and then go with that.
All right. Well, because it seems like people are supporting Mamdani in New York, and I was wondering what they think about Mamdani's plan with taking people's properties and giving them to stewards.
Oh, they like that. They like that. They're called Democrats, but it's one call per. Welcome to the show. We can only call once per show. Now the rest of you on hold, stand by, and we'll get back to the phones in a few minutes. I want to recap what we're talking about, and then there's a lot of other things I want to talk about. But before I get back to the game last night, although this has not been certified by the voters' office, the AP has said that Spencer Pratt is out, that ramen noodles has come in second place. Is there anyone who believes that? Is there anyone who believes that? You know, Democrats don't even believe it. They just don't care. And, you know, those of you out there that are Democrats, you know, we Republicans, we've lost elections too, you know. And, you know, when Obama ran for president and then he ran for, there's been a lot of elections. When he ran for re-election, we lost. And, you know, and it's, you lose sometimes. And that's just the way it is. And what you do when you lose is you come back. You come back at the next election and you change things up a bit. And then you try to win. You know? And when you look at Republican, I want you guys to think about this. Ask yourself this question. When you go back and look at past elections, when has there been, and think about this now, when has there ever been a question about a Republican win, a legitimate question about a Republican win? When you said something doesn't make sense here. This isn't right. Something stinks here. How could this be? You can't, can you? Because it never happens. It never happens. It only happens with Democrats. And, you know, this is how Democrats have always been. But I want you guys to think about this, that are Democrats. Do some reflection. Do a little reflecting on yourself, okay? Everyone knows that ramen did not come in second place, okay? I went through this quite a bit yesterday with the mail-in ballots that arrived before Election Day. The mail-in ballots that came in before Election Day, Karen Bass got the most, Spencer Pratt got the second, and ramen noodles got the third most by far. The mail-in ballots that came in after the Election Day, ramen noodles came in first place. She got by far more mail-in ballot votes than Karen Bass after. How's that possible? It statistically is impossible. And, you know, you guys spend a lot of time, I'm talking to liberals out there, Democrats. You guys spend so much time calling us a king. You know, one of the things that makes Trump not a king is that he has to face elections. And he left office after his first term and came back 4 years later and won and was elected again. And then he's back. Kings don't do that. Kings do what LA just did. You call us Nazis. You're the one that has a guy with a Nazi tattoo who is expected to win the primary in Maine for United States Senate today. Are you self-aware at all, or you just don't care? You know, one thing I learned in 2000 here, if you're on hold, hang in there. And I want to play a clip of Steve Hilton in a moment. He was on Newsmax last night, and he made just some really good points, Steve Hilton. But in the 2000 recount, it was based in Palm Beach and Broward County, mainly in Broward County, although and Palm Beach. And where my wife and I, where we lived at the time, was like a mile away from where they were counting the votes. We lived in Plantation, which is in Broward County, and they were originally doing the recount in Broward County at the Broward County Governmental Center next door to the Broward County Library on Broward Boulevard and Pine Island Road. And I went there every day, and I went into the vote counting room, and I was talking to people at the time about it, and there were a lot of Republicans, and what I learned is everyone knew that Bush won. Bush was always ahead in Florida. There was never a time when he wasn't. And Democrats felt fully justified in what they were doing. They were doing recounts in Democrat counties, Palm Beach County, Broward County, a couple others in another part of Florida. They didn't recount the whole state. They only did recounts in Democrat counties where Democrats controlled the election offices. And then they were trying to, and then they did this thing where they could hold a ballot and decide what the intention of the voter was on who they wanted to vote for. A lot of times people leave things blank on ballots. I do all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't vote for on ballots, and people do that all the time. So if someone left president blank or the Chad wasn't fully punched, they would look at how they voted for other things and say, well, this is a Democrat vote. I mean, it was crazy what they were doing. And I realized during the 2000 recount here in Florida, because I was very involved in that, I was on the scene every day, and Democrats feel that they're justified in doing everything evil that they do because they represent the people, the common good, and they're undoing past injustices that were done against groups of people. That's how they justify their actions. There's not a soul in this country, including Ramen Noodles herself, that doesn't know what happened in Los Angeles. But they feel totally entitled to do what they do. This is Steve Hilton talking about the mail-in process in California. Now listen to what he goes through here. So you have to have mailed your ballot by election day, right? Well, listen. You can backdate your ballot. So what you're doing is you're committing fraud. If you backdate the ballot and put a date that is election day or prior, you've just committed fraud. You've lied on a government document. And what's going to be very interesting is when Todd Blanche gets a hold of these mail-in ballots, in particular, the one, yesterday, do I have to break? Yes. Okay, we're coming up on a break. I want to get into more of this when we get back. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It's summertime. You want to get that weight off. Before, you go out to the pool, go to the beach, go on vacation. I'm wearing another new shirt I got. I bought all new shirts. About 2 weeks ago. And I have dropped from a large to a small. I was wearing large shirts. Now I'm wearing size small. Isn't that amazing? I dropped 2 complete shirt sizes. And it's because I lost all that weight in my stomach. I didn't think it was possible. When I lost weight and I first started losing weight at Coastal Weight Loss Secret, and I first met Dr. Zuckerman over there, okay, I thought even after I lost weight, I thought I was going to still have my belly that I was getting, where I was having partially obstructed view, because I just thought that was part of middle age. I have a completely flat stomach. All these new shirts I have are size small. They fit they're like fitted shirts. It is absolutely amazing. The reason I bought new shirts is because my old ones, they were just too big and baggy on me. So I went down from a large size shirt to a small. That is absolutely amazing. And I did that without any pills, without any shots, all natural. I was, because I talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret on the show, how your phone's always listening to you, and you go to Instagram and you talk about, things, and all of a sudden, you get things on Instagram about it. Instagram started feeding me things about people that take these pills and shots that have constipation because of it. Oh my goodness. I hear nothing good. I see these people that take these shots, that take these pills. They look ill. They're too thin. They're losing weight in parts of their body that you don't want to lose. They look sick. I look all natural because it is. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret and schedule your no-charge consultation. Remember, they can help you no matter where you are located in the world. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300, and online, coastalweightlossecret.com. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back after this. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Okay. I'll play that when we get back. All right, guys, we'll be back on the air in a little more than a minute, but let me take a call or two while we're in break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. What's up?
Well, first thing I'd like to say is I didn't know Rachel Maddow was still around. But
No.
And then she comes up and has that ridiculous thing about Trump is that dumb laugh of hers. Trump is getting booed outside. Yeah, so what? But inside, you're right. I definitely did not hear any boos, man.
Nothing.
They love Trump.
Yeah.
They love Trump. Anyway, the other thing is now this damn election in California. You know, that's the Supreme Court. One of the Supreme Court judges says it's supposed to be election day. You know, this continuing theft of votes is really terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we try to vote nicely. They cheat. They cheat. And it's been going on, and they keep getting away with it. This is what bothers
Well, who
me.
says that? Who says they've gotten away with it?
Well, if anybody,
You really think Todd Blanche is going to sit by and say, okay? All right, listen, I got to run. I got to run, Doug. We're coming back from the break. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We've got just a few seconds, and we'll be back, guys. Hang in there. All right, 6 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Jim from New York. How you doing?
All right, Jim. What's up?
Not much. So, yeah, I love it because not only were there cheers inside the Garden, but the big USA chant broke out during the national anthem.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying, then you got, deranged lunatics like Renee from Harlem, who their heads are exploding.
Mm-hmm.
They can't deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the left, they live in this bubble where everybody they know hates Trump, and misery loves company. They're trying to project their anger on everyone else.
And not for nothing, but there's more important things to worry about. Like the morning before, 7 people were stabbed just below Madison Square Garden at Penn Station. We don't need to worry about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing with Trump, one of the reasons they have no credibility, there's nothing he can do that's good. I mean, the liberals over the weekend were attacking him for cleaning up the trash out of the reflecting pool and taking the graffiti off of the Columbus statue, at the train station. I mean, when they're criticizing him for cleaning up graffiti and trash out of fountains, I mean, come on. Nothing he does is right. It's always wrong.
No, but that's the thing. There's universal things and they just hate him so much. Like, for instance, standing up during the State of the Union, excuse me, for certain things. They won't stand up because they hate him so much. Mm-hmm. They won't stand up for little kids or angel moms. It's crazy.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
So.
Yeah. By the way, do you think the Knicks lost because Mom Donnie was there and he's a bad luck charm? I don't know.
He is. I mean,
yeah.
I'm no Mets fan. But when he went to the Mets game and hugged Mr. Met, they lost 12 in a row.
Did they really?
I mean, yeah. No,
the curse. Oh, my goodness. He's got a curse.
No, of course, you won't hear about that in the media, but it's true.
Wow.
He went to a Mets game, he hugged Mr. Met, and they went and lost 12 straight after that.
Wow.
So, they don't want to talk about
now,
that.
I know the Knicks barely lost. So maybe Trump being there gave him a little bit of good luck and they didn't have a humiliating loss. But you're telling me that Mom Donnie has some kind of curse on New York sporting teams.
Yeah, he does.
Wow.
I mean, first of all, like you said, I'd be a little bit more also concerned about the violence after the game.
Exactly.
People getting, I mean, come on, it's so pathetic. These people worried about who's getting booed and cheered. They hate Trump so much, but they don't worry about the real issues. Like I said. Mass stabbing the morning before. You know what I don't get, and maybe you're there. Maybe you can. Are you out of breath? Are you okay? No, I'm sorry. I was walking uphill. I do a walk before work. Well, maybe you need to go to Life Imaging. Now, so I apologize. Maybe you need to go get the heart scan at Life Imaging because you're out of breath. I thought I'd be on hold longer. Sorry. You might have some blockage or something in there. Call Life Imaging FLA for that free heart scan. Listen, this is what I don't understand, and maybe you as a New Yorker can explain. Why did these people get violent outside? They were unified in their Trump hatred, booing Trump outside, and then they start beating each other up and committing vandalism. So what's that about? Well, not only that, but Brian, there wasn't just violence around the Garden. There was violence down in Bryant Park where they had a watch party. I just don't get it. I don't understand that. But then again, like you said, you get, and I'm picking out Renee from Harlem, talking about he's probably no Knicks fan. You know, I've been watching the Knicks for 40 years. He probably has been, couldn't name the starting lineup, but he plays this tough guy role and blah, blah, blah. And the guy's racist. He's an imbecile. But in the same token, you can be, he can't see the forest through the trees. None of these people could. Hate, like you said before, hate is a strong emotion.
It is.
And these people are so consumed with hate for Trump that nothing that's logical will ever permeate that. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's pathetic.
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right. You take care. Thanks for the call. The rest of you don't stand by. That was one of the most informative calls we've gotten. So did you hear what we found out? So Mamdani went to the game last night and they lost. He went to a Mets game, hugged the mascot, and then the Mets lost 12 games in a row. So all this talk yesterday that President Trump is some kind of bad luck charm, well, maybe it's not Donald Trump. Maybe the bad luck is Mamdani, the curse of Mamdani. Oh my goodness, we need a name for that. The Mamdani curse. Sounds like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. The curse of Mamdani on New York sporting teams. Oh boy, watch out. If Mamdani comes to your game and you're a New York team, you're going to lose. And he was hugging yesterday. He was taking selfies. Oh my goodness. This booing thing, what really is this about? Yeah, it's about a number of things. Okay. The Democrats, their whole world is evaporating, right? From within, they have Democratic socialists that are taking over their party. Trump's defeating their party. We're winning. They're going to lose the midterms. Their party's been busted. They had to go over the line and do something really pathetic because Spencer Pratt was projected to beat Karen Bass in November. They were panicked, so they went over the line and committed some major crimes in Los Angeles. Right now is not a good time to be a Democrat. Being a Democrat today, you know what it's like being a Democrat today? It's what it was like being a Republican right after Watergate, right? To be a Republican right after Watergate was not a good time to be a Republican. I was just a baby, but I could imagine. Right? Imagine what it's like to be a Democrat today with everything that is going on. It is not a good time to be a Democrat. But they've got to project that Trump was booed inside Madison Square Garden because it's not just that they want a fake news story to try to slander Trump. They do that every day. What is wrong with them, part of their Trump derangement syndrome is hate. It's hate. And out of all of the emotions, hate has an effect on the body. It's like being intoxicated, right? It just affects the brain. And the only way that these people can feel happy, these outcasts, because you got to understand, if you're not with Trump, you're in a cult, you're in a minority. So the only way they can feel good about themselves is if more people feel like them. And that's why they're projecting this. When I played that clip of Rachel Maddow earlier, she looked insane. She looked completely insane, in fact. Now, that last caller who was out of breath on a short little walk, I was telling him he needs to call Life Imaging FLA. Let me tell you, a friend of mine just had heart surgery. And he went and had his heart scan and found out that he had all kinds of blockage going on. And he was surprised because he goes to the gym every day and had no symptoms. And I was talking yesterday because I was thinking, I've known people over my time, friends of mine, family members that have had heart attacks. Every time someone I know has had a heart attack, everyone is shocked, right? Even the person, if they survive, I had no idea I had heart problems. I didn't know I had I didn't know. It's amazing. I've never, and with my personal acquaintances and family members that have heart attacks, no one in my circle who's had a heart attack or their immediate family saw it coming. No. And that's why in 30-40% of heart attacks, the first symptom is instant death with a heart attack. Life Imaging FLA is all about preventative health care. So if you're on a short walk like the last caller and you're out of breath, you want to call Life Imaging FLA, get that heart scan, make sure you're okay, or find out you got an issue so you can take care of it before you have that widowmaker heart attack. They have locations in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, but also in Orlando. So those of you that are in Orlando, Life Imaging FLA has a location there. Call for your free heart scan valued at $699 with a few minimum requirements. Okay, they're saving lives every day with this scan, and I've had it myself. It takes just a few short minutes. Make sure when you're over there for the heart scan, you ask about their full body cancer screening, okay? From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, say free heart scan, and you will be connected in seconds. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our break for the bottom and be right back. Why do some people command attention the moment they walk into a room, while others struggle just to be heard? The difference is intelligence. It is an experience, and it isn't talent. In the powerful, must-read new book, Own the Room, How to Communicate to Be Seen, Heard, and Respected, communication strategist and author Jake Stahl reveals the hidden psychology behind influence, trust, confidence, and presence. When you read Own the Room, you'll discover why people react differently to the exact same words depending on who says them, how insecurity silently weakens persuasion, the authenticity and emotional presence. Whether you're a leader, a salesperson, entrepreneur, creator, podcaster, or simply someone who wants to be more effective in everyday conversations, Own the Room gives you practical, actionable tools to build trust, project confidence, and make a lasting impact. Stop trying to impress people. Start learning how to truly connect with them. Order your copy of Own the Room, How to Communicate to Be Seen, Heard, and Respected from author Jake Stahl on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, audiobook, and free with Kindle Unlimited.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chasing roofing companies have gone out of business.
Okay, 1 minute, Barry. 1 minute.
Sure.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Brian, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. What do you have for us this week?
Well, one of the reasons that people fail to have an estate plan or fail to have one that works is lack of knowledge, lack of education, just not knowing what they need to do, and procrastinating when it comes to getting it done or getting it updated. And that's why at the Siegel Law Group, we offer all kinds of educational opportunities, whether it be comprehensive information on our website, siegellawgroup.com, or coming to one of our live events, which in fact we have one this afternoon at the Boca Raton office of the Siegel Law Group, 2 p.m. We do have a few seats still available, and that is an opportunity for people to get the information they need to protect the most important thing, their family and the assets that they've worked their whole life for, to make sure that it stays in the family and make sure it doesn't end up going sideways to either unintended heirs, people you didn't want it to go to the lawyers when it goes to probate or guardianship. And that's why it's so important to attend these, to come in. And by the way, those who do come, you'll have the opportunity to not only schedule a free consultation, but also to save some money too. There'll be discounts available for those who come and schedule while they're there.
Well, that's awesome.
And one other thing, we do get people who ask us if there's other times, and we have done Saturday mornings, we've done weekdays, and after regular working hours. And one thing we will also do is, if you have a group, like a condo association or an organization, we're often brought in to speak at those groups and deliver a seminar to your group, so that you don't have to come to Boca at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, for example. You can have it scheduled at a time that works for you and your group.
And I'll tell you, over the years, I've been to dozens of the workshops, both the Revocable Living Trust and the Medicaid workshops, and every time it's new. All right, because there's so much, and it's so detailed with all of these things. So take advantage of that. If you go, you also get a discount that Attorney Barry Siegel mentioned, and also I think one of the benefits, other than the information and of course the discount, Barry, is that they get to meet you and your staff, and you get to see the people that will be protecting you and your family and your estate. And I think that goes a long way as well. So give the Siegel Law Group a call. If you're interested in the workshop today, call this morning. But if you can't make it today, call. They'll let you know about the future dates as well. The number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. Siegel is S-I-E-G-E-L. SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later this week.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. A couple of things I want to get to, and then we'll go back to the phones. This is the Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson. He's talking about, this was yesterday in the halls of Congress. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll get to the phones in just a moment. But this is Mike Johnson, and he's talking about the LA mayor's race. What evidence? Yeah, I mean, that's their thing. Well, there's no evidence until there's an investigation and a prosecution goes in place. I love this. What evidence do you have? What evidence do you have? What evidence do they have for Russia? Right? They got no evidence. Without the investigation, which hasn't happened yet, you don't have court evidence. They're mindless in the press. That was the guy from CNN, the guy named after a disease, Mono Raju. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Oh.
My name is Neil, and I'm calling from Arizona.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm waiting. Come on. You called me. What's on your mind?
I guess I wanted to start with, I've been listening to the show for a little bit, and some of the stuff I really agree with, some of the stuff I don't.
Well, what do you disagree with? Let's talk about that.
Well, if I'm going to start, I disagree that Trump has done really any of the things that he promised to do. I don't feel like any of those. I feel like a lot of the things that were brought up. Like,
what's the okay? Tell me the biggest thing that Trump did not deliver on that he promised in the first year of his second term, policy-wise. A campaign promise, the biggest one that he didn't do.
No new endless wars. I mean,
that's
the one that.
What endless war? What endless war are you referencing? No more endless war. Okay.
Well, we've been in the Middle East for almost, 40, 30 years now? And we're going to keep going back there until we...
Oh, man, I got another brain surgeon on the line. You're another Dr. Carson. You ever separated conjoined Siamese twins? You sound like a rocket scientist. Okay. We have been in a state of war with Iran since 1979, right? And between 1979 and now, they've done many things that have killed and maimed many Americans, okay? They were behind the whole IED operation in Iraq, okay? So anytime you turn on television, and Afghanistan, anytime you turn on television and you see a Wounded Warriors commercial or Tunnels to Towers, and you see an American hero who has no legs, no arms, or half his body is melted, or maybe it's a widow who lost her husband and now she's alone with the kids and she's been given a mortgage-free home. That's courtesy of Iran, okay? President Trump, when did he become president?
First or this time?
This time.
2016.
2016, then we had the auto pin, then 24. The war with Iran began in 1979. President Trump didn't start an endless war. He's ending an endless war with Iran. See the difference? He's ending an endless war.
Where's the end? I don't feel the end is in.
Oh, well, this conflict, the military conflict started like 3 months ago, right? During most of that time, it's been a ceasefire without any weapons going off from the United States and Iran back and forth. Most of it's been during a time of ceasefire. But we've been 3 months. Excuse me. We've been involved in 3 months in this particular operation of this war that's been going on since 1979, and it will be over when President Trump is satisfied with the agreement, which they're close to coming to.
I feel like they've been close to coming to that agreement.
Well, feel. I mean, feel. I mean, I'm not into feelings. I'm into facts when it comes. You asked a question. When will it be over? I just told you.
Well,
but when you said no more, but Iran. Oh, excuse me. Iran doesn't apply to what you said. Excuse me. No, you're interrupting me. You said that President Trump has not kept his campaign promises. I asked you to name his biggest promise he didn't keep. You said no more endless wars. Iran is an endless war that he's ending. For him to have gone back on a campaign promise, he would have had to have started a war that we were not previously in that would never end. So what war is that? What is this endless war that he started?
Any one that we choose to fight for the Israeli state. Any war that we choose to.
What war are we fighting for the Israeli state that is a new war that is going to be endless? Can you tell me? I'm not familiar with that war.
Well, currently, the 7-day war, that was all the way.
No. That Trump wasn't. We're talking about during Trump's second term.
Hold on.
No, hold on. We're not going through the history of Israel. You said Trump didn't.
So
we're talking about Trump. You said that he said no more endless wars. What war did he start? And explain to me how it is endless. You've already agreed with me that Iran's war started in 1979, so that doesn't apply.
Yeah,
What endless
100%.
war? What endless
But the
war did
people
he
that
begin?
started it. Okay, so maybe I'll give you that. He didn't start this war, but we're no closer to ending it.
No.
We're no closer
You
to
said no more endless
the
war. No.
dialogue-
Iran doesn't apply. Iran started in 79. You said that he did not keep his campaign promise of no. Excuse me. He did not keep his campaign promise of no more endless wars. So, what I want to know from you, what endless war did he start?
Every time I try and talk to you, you filibuster me. What I'm trying to say is the Iran, with a promise he made was no new endless wars, right? He might not have started the war in Iran. He might not have started the war in the Middle East at all. We're no closer to finishing that war than Joe Biden was.
To have gone back on to go back on a campaign. You can't promise no new wars because what if we're attacked? We can't respond. You say no more endless wars. For that to be true, he would have to have. Excuse me, President. President. Excuse me. Oh, back to that. But we're talking about President Trump and his campaign promises, not the history of your hatred of the Jews. Okay, so President Trump said no more endless wars. For him to go back, excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. For him to go back on that campaign promise, he would have to, excuse me, he would have to start a new war that would be endless. So he has not started any new wars that are endless. He is ending a 47-year war with Iran, but he has not started a new endless war.
Do you know what a torch relay run is? Do you know what a torch relay run is?
Why? How is that relevant?
Do you know what a torch relay run is? That's the simple
Yes.
question. Do you know what a torch relay run is? Okay. So if that torch rerun is endless, then it's not any closer to stopping. Even if someone passes the torch.
This is not a new war. Okay, he said no more endless wars. He would have to start a new war that was endless. Hey, listen, I got to run. It's time for a break, but I appreciate the call. My goodness. Oh, man. Are you in pain? Let me tell you. I am such a happy guy because I'm living pain-free. I lost all this weight and I'm pain-free. I remember the days when I was suffering from my pain, in particular my knee, my arthritis pain, that Dr. Appleton with his robotic laser wave pain treatment rid me of. You know what I would do? I would just go to sleep. The pain was so bad, I would just go to sleep. I wasn't very active. I wasn't. There were a lot of things that I couldn't do. The other day, I went out and I have a lot of palm trees in my yard. And I went and trimmed these palm trees that are really, really high. I had to get out a ladder. And even still, I could barely reach. I was on this ladder, and I had the clippers. I'm on my toes at the top of the ladder. I would not have been able to do something so simple if it were not for Dr. Philip Appleton and his robotic laser wave pain treatment. Not only has he rid me of pain 7 times, he's rid so many people in this audience of their pains. I meet listeners all the time that are living a pain-free life because of Dr. Appleton. Listen, the consultation is free. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. Okay. Okay. right, stand by, guys. We'll be back in 1 minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go to the phones right after the break. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat. All right. Okay, about 35 seconds. We'll be back, guys. Oh, boy. See, the anniversary of the USS Liberty just happened. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was this week. Might have been yesterday. So there, so on these Jew-hating places, they're all talking about the Liberty. That's why I've gotten 2 calls about it today already. Oh, they didn't know about it yesterday when I was on. I guess later on in the day is when it started circulating on their Sieg Heil forums. All right, stand by. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tennessee.
All right, Tennessee. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to call and see, just talk about the things that Trump didn't keep. None of his promises, for real.
Didn't keep none of his promises. Pick the biggest promise he did not keep. Let's talk about that one.
Russia.
What about
Ukraine war?
What about Russia?
Economic cost, border and immigration.
No. Hold on. Well, the border. No. The border and immigration. He took care of that. He didn't do none of it. Means he did all of it. That's a double negative. The border and immigration. He shut down the border. There hasn't been an illegal crossing in over a year. Yes.
He has turned our ICE dudes into Gestapo.
Gestapo? You guys are the ones that got a Gestapo guy. His name's Graham Plattner with the Nazi Gestapo tattoo on his chest.
Doesn't Pete have one on his chest?
No. He has a cross on his chest. No, it's a cross.
No.
It's a cross. Go look it up. No, it's a cross. A Christian cross.
Look it up.
I know. I don't need to look it up. I know.
It's the SS.
No, it's a Christian cross on Pete Hegseth's chest. It is a Christian cross. If you've seen any swastikas, that was AI.
Sure did. He pledged to bring down the price of overall cost of living.
No, in fact, he didn't say that. In fact, he gave an interview with 60 Minutes right before the. Excuse me. Again, another one. Excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. Excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. He gave an interview with 60 Minutes.
I'm still talking.
No, you're not. I'm talking.
No, I was.
Well, you're not now. No. We're going to talk about one thing at a time.
Okay.
I understand that you're an incel that doesn't have conversations with other people very often.
No, that's red hatters. That's MAGA who's the incels. You got it so wrong.
We're not incels. We're mostly married. Oh, boy. There we go. First dump of the day, Jeremy. Jeremy's in for Mike this week. First dump of the day, Jeremy. I'm surprised it took that long. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Now, you may have noticed I've gotten 2 USS Liberty callers today, right? That guy, and there was one earlier in the show. The USS Liberty, which was a sad incident, but a friendly fire incident. The anniversary of the USS Liberty was, I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before. It's this week. Okay. So the USS Liberty is in their circles right now of wherever they go on social media to get all their, Sieg Heil stuff. That's why they're talking about it. But the USS Liberty indeed was a tragedy, but it was a friendly fire incident. And when friendly fire incidents sadly happen on occasion, we don't consider them an act of war. They're tragic accidents. As an example, in the earliest days of the War on Terror, there was a major friendly fire incident. Do you remember what it was? Pat Tillman. It was very sad, and it was covered up for a while. It was Pat Tillman, the NFL star who left the NFL and enlisted. was killed by her own fire. And it was a sad thing. It was a tragedy. It was covered up for quite a while because it didn't look good. They didn't want to upset the family. It's a sad thing. But did the United States attack the United States Army that Pat Tillman was in? Or was it a tragedy and a friendly fire incident? These things sadly happen. You know, the Graham, see, this is a big problem we have, guys. You know, Graham Plattner's primary is today. So tomorrow, we'll be discussing the results of that election. And I pray to Jesus that Graham Plattner loses. There's too many anti-Semites in this country. And what very well could happen, let me pull up something. I was not going to play this today, but let me pull this up. This is a Maine voter. This was online yesterday. And this is a really scary, really a scary thing. Okay, this is a lady who's a Maine voter. She's voting for Graham Plattner, and this needs no explanation. She's just a Graham Plattner supporter. She's going to vote for him in the primary, and she's at a Plattner event, and she's asked about the Nazi tattoo and stuff. Listen. Oh, so a Nazi tattoo is not a deal breaker for this lady, but if he had an Israeli flag tattoo, she'd drop it. Well, that's consistent for a Nazi. And, you know, when Graham Plattner first got on the scene, I was like, well, this will be good for us. We get this very dysfunctional candidate. It'll really illustrate the... But now I don't think that. And there's too many anti-Semites, like this idiot woman who I just played the clip from, these callers I've heard from today. There's too much anti-Semitism. And what the Democrats are going to do, if Graham Plattner is successful, they're going to make a move to get these anti-Semites gathered together to vote for them. The Democrats, what they do mostly is they put together coalitions. You know, I remember, you know, like, why do we have Mamdani? And there's another Muslim guy that's about to win an election today somewhere. Years ago, there was an article in the Sun Sentinel newspaper, which is the Broward County, Fort Lauderdale major newspaper. And they were talking to the local Broward Democrats in Broward County. And again, Broward County is the most corrupt political machine in America, more corrupt than Cook County, Chicago. Okay. And they were doing this great event to bring to the Democrat Party Muslims, South Florida Muslims, Broward County Muslims. And they were so excited. They were interviewing all the party bosses. They were so excited that they found this new group that they could bring into the Democrat Party. And now look, we got a Muslim mayor in New York City, 25 years after 9/11. They don't care because remember what the late, great Rush Limbaugh said. Democrats care about one thing and one thing only, power, being in power. That's how they can do all their Medicaid fraud and all that we're talking about all the time, you know. And whatever they have to do to stay in power, that's all they care about. And the next group they're going to go after are these anti-Semites, these Nazis, like the ones that, like that guy I was just talking to a few minutes ago, the one that called earlier. You know, among young people, you know, among the Gen Zs, there's more anti-Semitism in this country among the Gen Z population than there has been at any time in my lifetime. I've never seen it. You know, we virtually wiped out anti-Semitism, and it is back like gangbusters. And if Graham Plattner is successful and he becomes the senator, we're in big trouble. Because the Democrats are going to say to themselves, wow, there's this group of anti-Semites, of Nazis. Boy, we can get them to vote Democrat. They just elected Graham Plattner. So that's what they're going to do. Because all they care about is power. And I'm going to stand up to it anytime it comes up. I have zero tolerance for anti-Semites. And when I hear these callers, they're usually young men, not always, but mostly young men. It's scary to me. Their minds have been so brainwashed, so polluted. They're so dysfunctional, and it's actually frightening. Can you imagine how frightening it is if you're a Jew? My goodness. It's scary. Are you tired of security cameras that cost too much, hard for you to install, maybe you can't install them at all, or they're not giving you the protection and coverage you need? Well, check out Sloman's facial recognition cameras. Sloman's advanced technology recognizes familiar faces and alerts you when specific people arrive. So you can set up your system to know you, your spouse, your kids. Isn't that awesome? That'd be great. So instead of giving them keys, you could just have the Sloman's facial recognition camera recognize them, because when you pull up to your house, your lights turn on and the doors unlock. You don't need keys if it recognizes the face. Isn't that something? And right now, for a limited time, you can get it all for just $24.95 a month. You'll receive an all-in-one facial recognition door lock and doorbell camera, an outdoor camera, plus the Sloman Shield home security system that includes an LED keypad, 3 door window contacts, a motion detector, and battery backup. And everything is professionally installed. Give them a call. Here's the number, no matter where you're located, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break. Some of the most meaningful gifts don't come from big companies. All right, we'll be back in just over a minute. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And we're 1 minute away, and we'll be back. And I'll go back to the phones. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are listening. Oh, my goodness. I got some other things to bring up, but I'll take some calls first. Hang in there. 30 seconds. No, we're in radio break right now is what's on. We'll be back in 15 seconds. We're in radio station break. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Really, you've been on hold for that? I mean, don't you have something better? You've been on hold like 7 minutes. I would think you'd have something a little more clever. All right, I don't mind trolls and cranks and all that, but have some creativity, right? Have some creativity. All right, now I wanted to share this with you. This is Ana Navarro she's part of the Coven of the View, and she hangs out over on CNN. And this is Ana Navarro on CNN yesterday. She's talking about the Meet the Press interview that the president walked out on.
The second issue, which to me is just as horrible and needs to be discussed, is his consistent berating and insulting and ad hominem attacks, particularly against women. Whether it's give me a break. What do you mean give me a break? President Walker, this way. President Walker, I'm sorry. I worked with Christine when I worked at the White House. You give me a break, babe. Have you no shame as a woman? No, we hear him with all the ugly and piggy and crooked and liar and stupid and bad journalism. I had told you absolutely no solidarity with one interview. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. You and tell me to give you a break. How could you tell our journalist that she's not fit to be a journalist because she doesn't smile? How dare you tell me to give you a break?
You know, Ana Navarro, you're not supposed to yell at female journalists. What is she doing? She's been in America for as long as I have, and I can hardly understand a word she says. Her accent's so heavy. And if she says that's a Miami accent, I'm in South Florida. I don't sound like that. You can understand my words. And you know what's crazy is she's a Republican, and she's talking that way about Trump. Isn't that something? A Republican. What else did she say? Have some shame. Why don't you? Okay. Couple things. First off, he didn't call anyone piggy. He called someone Peggy, not piggy. But yeah, let's not let facts get in the way of your slanders. And you know, that interview with Kirsten Welker, I told you guys this yesterday. She is a fake news journalist. Her and her parents spent Christmas Eve and Christmas morning with the Obamas when the Obama girls were little girls at the White House. That is not a journalist. That is someone who's a Democrat hack, Kristen Welker. President Trump sat for an hour-long interview with her, okay? So she was the one disrespecting him, and he left after an hour. He's the president of the United States. He's leader of the world, and he gave her an hour of his time. So he didn't just storm out. He sat there and took her garbage questions for an hour. Everyone was worse than the one before. You know, this goes back to the booing, all right? And I'm gonna go back to that because I covered this at 6, but I want to go over this in the 8 o'clock hour. They just hate this man. And I know you guys will say, well, wait a minute, you know, you gave Biden a hard time and this and that. Yeah. But, you know, you didn't hear me talking this way and so incoherent and filled with rage over any of these Democrats, even still today. I give analysis, I give criticism, I give my opinions, but you don't hear me in some hysterical fits screaming at people because we're disagreeing. Now, if somebody gets nasty with me, I might on occasion raise my voice, but even that's rare with these idiotic callers that come up. I keep my cool with these idiotic callers. But the problem is that Trump could do nothing right. Remember, over the weekend, they were attacking President Trump for cleaning up the reflecting pool trash in Washington. How dare he clean this up? We liked it with the trash. We liked it with the graffiti. How dare this man do this? You know, I mean, when you're attacking someone because they're cleaning up trash or getting rid of graffiti on a statue of Christopher Columbus in Washington, D.C., you lose your credibility. You know, I mean, this guy could do nothing right. You know, he could do nothing right. And they grab onto these things. Now, what they're filling up the news today with is, and, you know, I shouldn't even have to do this. And I was listening to other people overnight that are conservative, and they didn't even share what I'm sharing. I guess they're so in bed. You know, these people in the media, even the ones you think they're friends with liberals, they're liberal friends. They don't want to upset their liberal friends. But the big story that they're slandering the president with today is just not true. Like all the other fake news about him, he was not booed inside Madison Square Garden. That is a fact. I'm going to play you the audio. I played this at the top of the show in the 6 o'clock hour, but I'm going to do it here in the 8 o'clock hour. And it seems so, I know with everything that's going on, the Democrats got a Nazi who's about to win the Senate race today in the Democrat primary in Maine. Rahman, AP has declared that Spencer Pratt is out of the mayor's race. They've called it. So it's going to be Bass and Rahman. I know there's big things out there, but I'm listening to the media. Even Benny Johnson, was I saw Benny Johnson. I hear there's no booing here inside Madison Square Garden. Listen, this is the audio. Okay, this is the president during the national anthem inside Madison Square Garden. Those are cheers, not boos, okay? Now, there were boos outside, okay? And let me pull this up. I will play you the booing, but it was outside. And, this is what I don't get. Why lie? If you want to talk about him being booed, he was booed, but he was booed outside, not inside. And, this is the thing with pathological liars. I've dealt with pathological liars so many times. And you know what I learned early on about pathological liars? They lie even when the truth would serve them better. They just can't help themselves. Okay? So you heard the first, you hear the cheers. Now, boo. Have you ever booed anybody? I've booed. When you boo, there's an emphasis. When a crowd is booing, there's an emphasis on the ooh sound. The ooh sound, right? Boo, ooh. So this is Rachel Maddow, and she's going to play the booing. Now, the booing you're going to hear with Rachel Maddow, this are the people outside who shortly after started beating each other up and committing all kinds of acts of vandalism. And you hear the outside people were booing. You hear the oohs from the boos. Listen.
Do you want to see the warm welcome the President of the United States got tonight when he decided to pretend to be a basketball fan?
Even though he spent his whole adult life prior to being president going to basketball games.
Because he wanted to go to the NBA Finals in New York tonight. Want to see how much New Yorkers appreciated Donald Trump making them all come to the game hours early, forcing everyone to go through tons of extra screening, forcing New York City to cancel the public free viewing parties they had planned outside Madison Square Garden, just specifically so Trump could be there in person.
She's glowing. The idea that people booed, that Trump may have been able to hear a boo, and I'll tell you, the glass on the Beast is so thick, you don't hear anything inside that thing. Have you ever seen the Beast with the doors open? They're vacuum shut and vacuum sealed. It's like, he didn't hear anything. But the idea that he might have heard a boo is giving her some energy.
Even though he's only ever talked trash about the NBA and doesn't appear to have been an actual fan at all, at least for decades. Do you want to see the big, warm New York welcome that actual Knicks fans gave him when he arrived at the venue tonight?
Okay, now the booing, you're about to hear booing, okay? No question. These are the people outside, okay, that were beating each other up a little while later. Okay, you hear it? You hear the boo, you hear the ooh sound with the boos, right? Listen, you hear the ooh with the boo. Okay, it's clear. This is outside, and there's no question you can hear the booing. You hear ooh, because that's the end of boo. You hear the ooh, listen. Okay, there's no doubt, right? He is, without question, the president is being booed outside. Inside, I know, this is so petty. I can't believe I'm going over this. It's insane. This is inside. Listen, you don't hear the ooh sound at all. You don't hear any oohs there. There's no oohs, which are that's the part you hear with the boo, ooh. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I mean, are they that petty that they've got us talking about this? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Coyle, and I'm from Redlands, California.
Okay. Yes, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
I had some questions to ask you. I've been watching the show for a little bit.
Well, pick your best question and start with that one.
And I wanted to thank you. I myself am Jewish, and I agree with you. I think Gen Z is too anti-Semitic.
Well, too anti-Semitic. Well, too anti-Semitic. So there's a level of anti-Semitism that's okay, and they're just too anti-Semitic. What does that mean?
No, they all and there is no such thing as too much anti-Semitism, and I think it's bad.
Okay. So what's your question?
That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say these Goyim are getting too rowdy, and I appreciate your time.
Okay. They're too anti-Semitic. I don't know. I'm a little sus of that guy. There's that indicates that there's a level of anti-Semitism that's acceptable. Oh my goodness. I tell you. I feel like I'm in bizarro world sometimes. I really do. I really do. Do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? Oh man, it's neuropathy. Neuropathy is just really rough. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, and it's really dangerous because you get dizzy, you're falling down, and when you have neuropathy and you fall, you can really injure yourself. You might even have neuropathy and don't even know it. And of course, I'm talking about Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness? Do you fall down all the time or on occasion? Are your muscles twitching? Do you have the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. If you have any of those symptoms, you very well may have neuropathy. Lighthouse Medical, if you haven't even been diagnosed yet, let them examine you. Take advantage of that no-charge consultation. If you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, they'll let you know if you have neuropathy. If you do, and you've already been diagnosed or they diagnose you, Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano have a treatment for neuropathy that works. I've seen it work in Steve Kane and many of our listeners over the 4 years that they've been with us. And it also lasts. They rid Steve of his neuropathy 4 years ago, and it has not returned. Give them a call. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation that they offer to our listeners. The number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642 for Lighthouse Medical Center. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back. All right. All right, guys, stand by. We'll be back in 40 seconds. 40 seconds, we'll be back. Oh, my goodness. And I'm going to go back to the phones. The number is 888-465-2780. 2631. 888-465-2631. Oh, man, I tell you. See, the danger. All Democrats here is there's this new group, the Nazis, that they can get to vote Democrat. All right, stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al, I'm in Delray Beach.
Oh, Liberal Al. Long time no see. I haven't heard from you in a long time. I just assumed you passed away. Hey, turn down the volume in the background of whatever device you're listening to me on.
I'm not listening to you anything.
Well, whatever you got on in the background, turn it down.
Okay, and Enrique Terrio, your good buddy, wants to get get a piece of that $1.8 million slush fund. Are you going to try to get a piece of that slush fund?
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
The $1.8 billion slush fund that Trump wants to make.
Well, that fund no longer exists. You're calling with 2-week-old talking points. There was a court ruling, and Todd Blanche shut down the fund.
Yeah. When was the last time the Justice Department disobeyed a court order? They're constantly
Todd Blanche shut down the fund. You have dated talking points.
I understand.
Do you have a talking point that's more relevant?
Yeah, well, Todd Blanche is not approved yet.
He's the acting attorney general, and President Trump is going to nominate him. He's already been confirmed by the Senate once for the deputy attorney generalship, so it'll just be a walk in the park.
You think so, huh? You think McConnell will vote for his approval a second time? I don't think so.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're the one.
I don't know. You don't know what's wrong with you? So something. Okay, so hold on. Something is. Hold on a second. So something is wrong with you. You just don't know what it is? Because I said, what's wrong with you? And you said, I don't know.
No, I know what's wrong with you. You're in love with Trump.
I asked you what's wrong with you, and you said you do not know. So you know something's wrong with you, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Physically, I'm not 100% because I have to get another back surgery, unfortunately. But in any case, I know one thing: no new wars. That's what Trump ran on.
President Trump never said that. He never said that.
Yeah, he did.
Who's giving you these talking points? They're out of date and inaccurate.
No, they're not.
You should be embarrassed.
The oil prices are high because of Trump.
Trump
is the sole reason why the oil prices are through the roof.
But you know what? You know what? They're lower than they were when the Autopin was president.
Not really. You know damn well that's not true.
Yeah. What do you care about gas prices? Where are you driving?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be getting a Tesla soon. Right now, I'm driving a Hyundai Passport.
You know, a friend of mine I'm not going to tell you what I'm driving. A friend of mine is at a gas station. Excuse me. A friend of mine. No, I don't. A friend of mine is at a gas station here in South Florida, and a Marathon, and he just texted me a photograph of the gas prices. How much did you say gas is? I'm going to read them on the air. This was 380.
380. Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with? So gas prices are down now. You just said you said they're high, so they're down. Only 380.
They're still up 25%. They're up 25%.
So you just told me that President Trump got the gas prices down. Who's talking? Who is there talking? Who's there talking next to you? Are they talking to you?
No, that's my personal driver.
Your personal driver? Is that what you call your Uber driver? What do you want, an Uber or a Lyft?
I'm not an Uber or Lyft.
What are you, Miss Daisy?
I'm going. Hey, that was good.
Yes.
No,
your personal driver? Why do you have a personal driver? It's not an Uber. It's not a Lyft.
Because I can afford it.
You have a chauffeur?
Yes, I do. I've always had a chauffeur.
Really? What kind of
I
car?
employ people.
You employ
You keep
people?
on telling people I'm unemployed. Yeah, you
No.
keep on telling people I'm unemployed when I'm employed.
You
How did I
you
afford
have
to go
a
to DC and back? How many times did I call you from
DC.
DC? Yeah.
What is that?
How many
What
times?
is DC? The Department of Corrections? What are you talking about?
No, Washington DC. You numbnut.
The Washington Department of Corrections? What is
Right.
when you? I don't know. You said DC Department of
You still got it,
Corrections.
man. You might be politically incorrect all the time, but you still got a sense.
So
of humor. I'll give you that.
you're in a limousine that you own that is being driven by a chauffeur.
Yeah.
Really? Is it a stretch
20 hours a
limousine?
week.
Is it a stretch limousine? What kind of limousine is it?
I told you I own a Hyundai Palisade.
A Palisade? Is that kind of like a Palisade?
Palisade.
You don't even know what kind of car. You can't even pronounce the name of your car. What's the name of your driver? What's the name of your limo driver? With your Enrico. How much do you pay him?
Hey,
Enrico
is a criminal.
He just happened.
At least I got to
Tellerico. What's the name of your driver?
No, I'm kidding you. His last name's not Tellerico.
Why don't you put your driver on the phone? He'd be much more interesting than you.
I'm not going to have an accident with you. Yeah, listen.
Put the phone on speaker. Put the phone on speaker and let your driver. What's his name? Oh my goodness!
I'll make a deal with you. Next time when I'm
next
able
time.
to do this,
What? Next time what? Next time you call me from your you're not driving. You're in the back seat of your limousine. Your what did you call it? Your Hyundai Palisades.
It's a Hyundai Palisade. I mispronounced it because when you get to my age, every once in a while, if you haven't had your morning coffee, you mispronounce words.
Well, I hear your driver talking nonstop. I said, "Who's that talking?" You say it's your driver, but you say you won't put him on speaker because you don't want to get into an accident. Who's he talking to? I mean, you let your employees have private what? Who's he talking to?
None of your business who's he talking to.
Well, you let your employees just have private conversations while they're supposed to be chauffeuring you. I can't. Enough of this cosplay. Oh my goodness, these cosplay callers that have these fake lives and backgrounds. It's ridiculous. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Brian. How are you today? Some of the American people really
liberal
about these people like Rachel Maddow and Kristen Welker and Anna Navarro-Smith. These women are paid a fortune on this legacy media to come out, not to present a Democratic platform, but to flat out lie to the American people.
Yeah.
And looking at this reception that Trump got at Madison Square Garden, this is a very good example. There's no booze in that crowd in the Madison Square Garden. None.
There are no Madison Square Garden booze inside the arena. First of all, these seats cost tens of thousands of dollars, right? I mean, this is the oligarchy that Bernie's always talking about. Why would the oligarchy be mad at Trump? They would love Trump.
Yeah. These people come out with, they should just really put up this legacy media, how much these people are paid to, and they're lying to us every day, every night on every issue, just to pad their own coffers. It's a disgrace. Rachel Maddow wasn't she like just a part-time employee?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in a long time, so I don't know. But the only reason I pulled this up is because you can hear the ooh sound in the boo, and then you don't hear it with Trump. Right. So I wanted to do the compare and contrast. And she does look a little bit like Elvis Costello. Any Elvis Costello fans out there? I like Elvis Costello a lot, but a lot of people think he can't sing, but I think he's pretty awesome. But she looks like Elvis Costello. Yeah. Back when Elvis Costello from the 80s, not today.
Yeah. But she's actually got the big smile on her face, like she's presenting the cutting news and everything. It's a blatant lie. But she's still going to get her big paycheck at the end of the week, and that's all she really cares about.
Mm-hmm. That's
true.
And
American people are being lied by these stations, these people, consistently by these people with the same narrative, the same lies. just so they can collect their
That's
big
right.
paycheck from the
That's
legacy
right.
media.
All right, I got to run. I got to run for the break. If you're on hold, stand by. Oh boy, I feel a lot dumber than I did after talking to Liberal Al. I want to tell you guys though, this big announcement. You want to take advantage of this while it lasts. This just popped up yesterday. Mike Lindell has a huge Father's Day section at mypillow.com, and the bathrobes are back in. You know, they were out of stock at mypillow.com on many of the bathrobes, the sizes and the colors. Now everything is in stock. Okay, this is a great Father's Day gift. There's not a dad out there that does not want a MyPillow bathrobe, I'm here to tell you. By the way, they have the ladies in too. They're all in, all the colors, all the stock at a huge discount, $100 off. I have a MyPillow bathrobe. My wife has one. They're spectacular, very well made. They're normally $179.98, but right now, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, the MyPillow bathrobe is just $79.98. It's an incredible deal. It is $100 off. This is a great and perfect Father's Day gift. So go to mypillow.com and order yours with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back. All right, guys, stand by. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do you love television? Ever wonder what's really happening behind the scenes of your favorite shows? Then you need to add TV Insiders, the TV Pro Review Podcast to your Spotify playlist. TV Insiders covers the world of television from two industry professionals, Tim and Joe, who know the business from the inside out. Each week, TV Insiders discusses some of the biggest shows across streaming, as well as network TV, delivering sharp analysis, honest opinions, and insider perspectives you won't find anywhere else. From race across the world and Temptation Island, celebrity sabotage, and more. Every episode of TV Insiders explores what works, what doesn't, and what audiences aren't being told. Plus, you'll get the latest TV industry news, behind-the-scenes stories, production insights, and discussions about the trends shaping the future of TV. Share the podcast on all your social media so your friends can tune in too. TV Insiders, the TV Pro Review Podcast on Spotify. Start listening right now. Are you feeling emotionally drained, stuck, or disconnected from yourself? EnlightMeCenter.com was created for the person who is ready to heal, reset, and reconnect with their purpose. At EnlightMeCenter.com, explore spiritual wellness services, emotional healing tools, guided resets, transformational courses, as well as inspirational merch designed to support your journey. Visit EnlightMeCenter.com to start your healing journey and claim your free 5-minute emotional reset. EnlightMeCenter.com. What if a world-famous wine empire was hiding a deadly secret? From author Malenko Gabrillo comes an international thriller where luxury, power, and organized crime collide in a battle that spans the continents in Blood and Wine. In Blood and Wine, meet the Lombardi family. They've spent generations building a global empire of Michelin-starred restaurants and world-renowned wines. But when their daughter suddenly vanishes, they uncover a criminal network operating in the shadows of the luxury industry. As shocking secrets emerge and the stakes rise higher than ever imagined, the family finds itself caught in a dangerous struggle involving betrayal, power, and a ruthless cartel determined to take everything they've built. From New York to Europe and beyond, Blood and Wine combines cinematic action, unforgettable characters, and non-stop suspense in a story about family, legacy, and the price of survival. Order your copy of Blood and Wine from author Malenko Gabrillo online at iTheBook.com. That's iTheBook.com.
All right, we'll be back in about a minute, guys. Hang in there. I got a few other things I want to bring up. Oh my goodness. Liberal Al, Liberal Al used to be a good caller a long time ago, and he's devolved over the years. Now, that's what happens when you're liberal. It's like It's like a fungus on the brain. Oh, my goodness. His driver can't talk while driving, but he's gabbing away in the back. That's how I knew there was somebody else there. Just bizarre. Got about 30 seconds, guys. Cosplay callers. Fake lives, fake backgrounds. Less than 30 seconds. We'll be back. Can't expect anything logical from a liberal. No doubt about that. Hey, guys, make sure you like the video if you have not, okay? When you like the video, that gets the video recommended to people that have not yet seen the channel, all right? We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, it's only Tuesday. We've heard from a lot of liberals in the last 2 days on this program. A lot. There hasn't been one liberal that's made a coherent argument about anything. They've all been unhinged at one extreme or another, but they've all been unhinged. Some more than others, but they've all been off. And what happens, this is one thing I learned about crazy people a long time ago. Do you know what freaks out crazy? You know, Trump derangement syndrome is a form of insanity. So people that have Trump derangement syndrome are crazy. Do you know what really freaks crazy people out more than anything? There's two things. One, never call them crazy. That really, that's really risky. That's the worst thing you can do. When you call them crazy, they go nuts. But the other thing is, you know, these Trump derangement syndrome liberals, they live in an alternate reality. And when you shatter their reality, they really lose it. And this boo thing is just, it's so important to them. They're nothing but a bunch of pod people, you know? I saw these two stories that are just sad. I mean, these are just really sad stories. We got some Obama dreamers here. Illegal, just sentenced to 100 years in prison for repeatedly raping a preteen girl. Here's an illegal alien right here in Palm Beach County. An illegal alien in Palm Beach County convicted of raping a 13-year-old girl. These are two different illegals. One raped a 13-year-old, one a preteen. This is the one that got the 100 years. An illegal alien who tried to flee the United States before being sentenced for repeatedly raping a preteen girl over the course of 3 years has been found and sentenced to 100 years in prison. Jorge Alberto Campos, a 42-year-old illegal, was handed a 100-year prison sentence for sexually abusing his girlfriend's 11-year-old daughter at their residence for 3 years. I hope they arrested the mother. How could the mother not know? I would say she knew, wouldn't you? How could the mother not know that her 11-year-old baby was being raped by her boyfriend? You know, this is, and by the way, we need to do some DNA testing. Is this really the mother? Right? I mean, what kind of mom would allow this? Breitbart News is reporting this, by the way. This illegal was convicted, one of these dreamers they're always fighting for. He was convicted of 5 counts of sexual assault of a child. He did not show up to hear the verdict. He was out on bail after the conviction. He was out awaiting sentencing. Can you imagine? He's convicted of raping an 11-year-old, and the liberal judge let him out. He didn't show up for the sentencing. Shocker. He didn't show up for the verdict. Oh no, he didn't show up for the. How do you get? By the way, when you rape a child, how do you get bail on that? If you've raped a child, isn't that a capital offense? He didn't show up. Police found his ankle monitor. He cut it off. Oh, my goodness. So that's that one. Here's the one in Palm Beach County. It's also in Breitbart. And this is a different one. The first one was an 11-year-old victim. This is a 13-year-old victim with this illegal. An illegal alien who entered the United States under the Biden administration. Oh, Kamala Harris, the border czar. I guess the border czarina, she let this one in. an illegal alien who entered the United States under the Biden administration has been convicted of raping a 13-year-old girl in Palm Beach County. Oh, my goodness. He did this last year, but I guess he just got convicted. Last week, a Palm Beach County jury convicted 36-year-old illegal alien Santo Martinez Valera of Honduras on 4 counts of sexual battery against a 13-year-old girl, 1 count of lewd and lascivious molestation, 1 count of false imprisonment. According to the prosecution, on the night of January 2nd, 2025, the girl was near a bike trail in Okehele Park when she sat and was using her cell phone. Parents, don't let your girls out alone. Don't let your girls or any of your children out alone, ever. And not being alone doesn't mean they have a cell phone. When my daughter was a child, she never, even in our own street, was out alone walking the dog or riding her bike. I would never allow that. While she was sitting, the girl and Varela came walking toward her, threw her to the ground in the bushes, and began raping her. My goodness. The girl said she fought. She tried to tie her hands behind her back during the assault. The monster, the illegal, he fled the scene. He was located and arrested by police days later. ICE lodged a detainer against him the day after the arrest, and he's been sentenced. I mean, my good, the reason that there's so many of these is because they've done these crimes back in their home country, right? So they come here. It's like in the old days when, Butch and Sundance, they've been robbing all the banks. All the posses were after them, so they went south of the border, Bolivia. And what did Butch and Sundance start doing in Bolivia? They started robbing banks again because people that are criminals, that's what they do. They always reoffend, especially the perverts, right? So these guys do what they do back in their home country, and then they get here somehow. Maybe, because President Trump said these other countries empty out their prisons, so maybe they empty out their jails and send them here. Or they're fleeing crimes they've done in their native country, and they try to start a new life over here, and they do this. I mean, think about it. If President Trump was president the last 4 years, this 13-year-old girl in Palm Beach would not have been victimized because President Trump shut down the border. He stopped this. This guy came in the past 4 years. I mean, this is just, these are the people they're always fighting for. So those idiots outside Madison Square Garden who were booing Trump, what are they booing? That he shut down the border? There hasn't been an illegal crossing of creeps like this in a year? He's deported millions of illegals because some hundreds of thousands were deported by ICE, but many, many more have self-deported. I mean, what actually are they booing? There are certain things in our society that are universally good to do. One of them is rounding up violent criminals. And you guys on the left that are always talking about the Epstein files, okay, well, if you care about pedos, why was Biden letting these guys then and others like them? These girls, this 13-year-old and this 11-year-old, will they ever be normal after this? Probably not. Probably not. But the liberals don't care. You know why they don't care? Because they hate Trump. And whatever it takes, if we got to elect a Nazi, if we have to elect kitty rapists into the country, whatever it is to stop Trump is worthy. Well, it's easy for you. You're not sacrificing anything. These girls' lives have been destroyed. But a lot of girls didn't survive. They're dead. They don't have any life left because one of your dreamers took it from them. My goodness, what are they booing? Really? What would you be booing with President Trump? What has President Trump done in his second term? Serious question that rates a boo. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh, man. Friendly Tire in Margate. All the tires of my family are Friendly Tire tires. Once you go to Friendly Tire in Margate, you will buy tires nowhere else. At Friendly Tire in Margate, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. And remember, when I say out the door and on the road, Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires. So the price that Friendly might quote you over the phone, that's the final price. And by the way, new tires as low as $75 a tire. That's on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road. I'm not talking about tires that go on a Fiat the size of a golf cart. Some of the most popular vehicles on the road, you can get tires as low as $75 a tire. That's brand new. He has thousands of good used tires in stock as low as $35 a tire, and that's out the door and on the road. He can get all the name brands you know and love, and he can get tires for any type of vehicle too. If you have run flats like I have on one of my cars, the lowest price you'll find anywhere on run flats. But if you have an industrial fleet, we've got listeners that have dump trucks, right, and commercial vehicles they take over there. Whatever kind of tires you need, he can get at low prices. Give Friendly Mike a call at Friendly Tire. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back with the Gold Report. Hang in there, guys. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Oh, metal's looking pretty good, actually. It's stabilizing and popping up nicely after the Friday big drop on Friday, as all of the markets fell apart on Friday. We saw a nice rebound yesterday, and today the markets are up nicely also. These numbers are very important because we are down on the charts where critical points of interest for buyers are taking place, which means that we are right on some support levels, some 200-day moving averages, et cetera, that make for a good chance of taking advantage of these lower prices, which we haven't seen for a while after that breakout of that sideways action that we had for several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, yesterday we saw gold stabilize at $4,329.30, which was only up $1.30, but still better than what we've seen after big drops like this.
Mm-hmm.
Trading in a range of 42.69 to 43.54. We closed out at 43.29. Silver was up 33 cents yesterday, closing at $68.05 the ounce. Platinum was down $19 at $1,756, and palladium was down $11 at $11.96. Both platinum and palladium look really good for a buying opportunity as far as we're concerned. We think that these numbers are very low and right on support levels that should hold and should be a good opportunity to get into these other metals that are quite rare. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $4,312 on the low to $4,352, and right now we're at $4,341 the ounce. That's up $11.70. Silver up 30 cents at $68.35 the ounce. Platinum up $18 at $17.74, and palladium up $41. That one's really gone down. That's a good rebound and right off the chart numbers that should be a great buying opportunity. $1,237 on palladium right now, up $41.
Yeah,
that's pretty much where we are right now.
It's been a long time since I heard you recommend buying palladium. So that tells me it's a great time. Can you tell people if somebody's interested in palladium, what form does palladium come in?
Both palladium and platinum come in 1 ounce bars and 10 ounce bars. Of course, the platinum coins come in several different coin forms also.
Yeah.
There's very few palladium coins, but usually the bars are the best way to go with palladium. And again, platinum is one of our favorites.
Oh yeah, and the platinum you can get in the 1 ounce coins, like there's a platinum. What are the different countries that have platinum 1 ounce coins?
Well, platinum coins come in the Royal Canadian Mint. The U.S. Mint has an eagle, the platinum eagle. They have the nobles from Isle of Man. The Britons makes the British Britannias in platinum.
Oh, those are beautiful
coins in platinum.
Yeah.
And we have them all in stock.
Well, listen, give William Youngman a call. You know, you can do your transactions no matter where you are in the world over the phone and through the mail. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. But if you can stop in, please do, at his shop in Boca, where everything is available for immediate delivery. Located just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. And find both his address and phone number on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, so I know, just terrible things. You know, when you look, I want you to really think about this. You know, how pathetic are the Democrats on this day? This day, they're obsessing. They're obsessing over this boo thing with Trump. They're just so desperate that. And by the way, even if it was true, which it's not, that he was booed inside Madison Square Gardens, so what? It's New York, right? They just elected Mamdani in New York. I'd be surprised if they didn't boo him outside. You know, and I'll tell you, I'm surprised they didn't boo him inside either. Because these are New Yorkers, and Mamdani just got elected. But he wasn't booed inside. He was booed outside. But they're obsessing over that. And they asked the president about this. This was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't believe this. You know, I get up really early in the morning. President Trump, it's about 1:30 in the morning. He's on the tarmac, getting ready to go up the stairs on Air Force One, and he does a press conference. It's amazing. Listen. Now, when have you ever seen a president do a press conference at 1:30 in the morning like this? This was crazy. Yeah, that's it. No, pray. That's it. Now let me tell you, tomorrow is going to be an interesting discussion because what I'm curious about tomorrow, what I'll be looking at, the main primary is today, right? And we could wake up tomorrow and find out that the Democrat Party has elected in their primary, nominated a Nazi to be the United States Senator from Maine. And what I'm very interested in is what the reaction is going to be from liberals about this. I was telling you last week, because now it's real. It's real because it's today, the main primary. I was telling you, you party, right? You can't. Anybody can register. I could go register as a Democrat this morning, and then tomorrow tell you guys I'm a Democrat. But am I? Am I represent? No, of course not. But I could do it. But just because somebody is registered in the same party as you doesn't mean that you don't denounce them, disavow them, criticize them, whatever. Okay? They say, you guys, you're always with Trump. You're in a cult. Well, what does it say about you that you're supporting a Nazi? He's got a Nazi tattoo on his chest, right? What does it say about you that you say that's okay? But I'm curious what the response is going to be tomorrow if Graham Plattner wins. I keep hearing they got this talking point. They keep calling it a redemption story. To have a redemption, what is a redemption story, really? A redemption story, I don't know, someone does something and then they repent and they're sorry and then they prove themselves. Where was that journey with Graham Plattner? He got caught with the Nazi tattoo. So during the campaign, mind you. So what did Graham Plattner do? He went out and got a tattoo put over it. So he says. I'm not even sure that's true. And if, has he shown us this recently? When's the last time he took his shirt off? And I'd like to see someone go up with a washcloth and some cleaning fluid and find out, whatever kind of cleaning solution you would use, and find out if it's a real tattoo or a temporary tattoo over the Nazi tattoo. Wouldn't you like to know? But where's the redemption story? Where is the journey of him saying, oh, I made a mistake, I've repented, nothing. But that's the talking point. Oh, this redemption story is amazing. Who's ever had a redemption story, by the way, in public life? And there's certain things that there's no going back on. And one of them is being a Nazi. When a Nazi gets caught and they say, oh, you got me, I'm so sorry. You don't let them. It doesn't happen too much anymore because they're dead. But over the years, how many times have you seen them pull out of some house in Ohio or something, some 98-year-old Nazi who was a teenager who worked at some concentration camp? And since he somehow found his way in the United States, has led a great life, didn't do any crimes. Sometimes they even have had careers, and they say, oh, well, yeah, but he's redeemed himself because all these years that he was living in Cleveland, he never broke the law that we know of. He didn't exterminate anyone. He had a family, had a job. He's got a pension. He redeemed himself. No. Nazis are not redeemable. There's certain things that once you go there, that is it. And one of them is being a Nazi. But even if that's, even if you say, no, wait a minute, I need to see what happens. If you're a Nazi, you've got serious hatred for Jews and others. The Nazis don't like anyone except other Nazis, right? They don't like Jews. They don't like blacks. They don't like gays. They don't like anyone except other Nazis. But you would have to repent, admit that you were wrong, how you got there, and since then you did this, you did that. And even then, I wouldn't trust you, would you? No. But there's been no redemption journey. There's no redemption story. It's just proof of what has been said so many times over the years. Democrats would vote for Adolf Hitler if he had a D next to his name on the ballot. And this is the first time we've actually seen it in practice. So what we're going to find out today about Democrats, we're going to find out a lot. I can't wait. And I'm so glad Maine is on the East Coast because we'll get the results. I don't know if polls close at 7 or 8, but we'll get the results. We'll have the results tomorrow morning. And so I have an idea. We'll have a better idea faster than LA and California. So we're going to find out if Democrats will vote for a Nazi if he's got a D next to his name on the ballot. We're going to find that. You know, if he wins tonight, even if he loses, he'll get votes. But if he wins tonight, we'll find out something that is really a sad thing. And then by the reaction of the pundits, we're going to find out who's a decent person and who's an indecent person. Because anyone who has any sense of morality, okay, if this monster wins the Democrat primary in Maine tonight, anyone that has any integrity whatsoever would immediately denounce them, announce that they have nothing to do with them, and they're embarrassed and ashamed of their party that they put him up. But that's not what's going to happen. The Democrats are going to embrace this guy if he wins tonight. Now, if he loses, now they might start denouncing him then if they find out he's not electable. But if he wins and they say, oh, this Nazi thing, we can get Nazis elected, we may see more of it. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll be back at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Take care. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. All right, we're clear. If you're new, welcome to the program. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. And before you go, please like the video, all right? You know, when you guys like the video, it helps grow the channel so much because it gets the program recommended to people who have not yet found my channel. So please like the video.